Hello and welcome to the latest edition of MBC News with me, Kumbukani Piri, and Savita Wirima is our sign language interpreter tonight. Our top stories. President Dr. Lazarus Chakwera set to compete at the Presidential Charity Golf Tournament in Blantyre this weekend. Vice President Dr. Michael Ussi departs Tangier, Morocco for Baku, Azerbaijan after participating in the African Consultation Meeting ahead of the 3rd United Nations Ocean Conference. And the High Court rejects an application by the Democratic Progressive Party on the mandatory use of national IDs during voter registration. Well, I'm glad you could join us. President Dr. Lazarus Chakwera is this weekend set to compete at the Presidential Charity Golf Tournament in Blantyre. Dr. Chakwera, who is expected to be one of the key competitors, will arrive at the country club Limbe at 8 o'clock in the morning for a tournament which is expected to start 30 minutes later. State House Press Secretary Anthony Kasunda stresses that President Dr. Chakwera is committed to supporting the vulnerable in the society, hence his participation at the tournament. Kasunda speaks to our reporter Trust Office.
Just a reminder that the annual Presidential Golf Tournament is coming up this weekend, and so I want to invite you all, bring your clubs and your A game. See you there.
As Malawians are aware, the Presidential Charity Golf Tournament is taking place this weekend. In fact, for the first time this year, the tournament will be played in 2 days. On 11th October, that's Friday, tomorrow, and it will reach its climax on Saturday, the 12th October. His Excellency Dr. Lazarus Makathi Chakwera, President of the Republic of Malawi, will lead the golfers in this year's tournament on Saturday. And I can assure Malawians and the golfing fraternity that the President is very ready. He has been practicing. He's coming to compete as well, not only to tee off or just to participate, but he's coming to compete for the top prize.
Probably how unique is this tournament from the previous tournaments?
As you are aware, the proceeds from last year's tournament, part of the proceeds were channeled towards the reconstruction of Mpata Primary School in Nsanje, which was buried. The original structures were buried by sand during the Cyclone Freddy. So the President went there, did groundbreaking that through his charity, the new school be reconstructed. So this year's tournament is unique because we are trying to raise more funds so that more classrooms, more blocks can be constructed at this school. So we are calling upon companies that have not yet come forward to sponsor, to really feel compelled to be part of this noble cause of supporting victims of Cyclone Freddy. And also, as you are aware, that part of the proceeds also go to needy students. The demand for such funds from needy students is increasing. So we need more resources. The charity needs more resources to reach out to more students that are vulnerable.
President Dr. Lazarus Chakwera will lead over 200 golfers in the Presidential Charity Golf Tournament at Country Club Limbe golf course in Blantyre on Saturday. The tournament will be played for 2 days, starting this Friday. Amin Musa has details.
The Presidential Charity Golf Tournament is an initiative which was inaugurated in 2022 and is aimed at raising funds to support needy and deserving tertiary students in various universities to attain quality education and also support citizens who have been affected by natural disasters. For the first time in its history, the Evergreen Country Club Limbe Golf Course will host the Malawi leader and over 200 golfers under the initiative. Dr. Chakwera is expected to officially tee off at 8:30 in the morning on Saturday to mark the launch of this year's tournament. This year, The initiative is targeting to raise 600 million kwacha. Golf Union of Malawi President Gift Kawamba, who is also the chairperson of the organizing committee, says all is set for the country's biggest annual golf tournament.
We've been working around the clock really for the past week or so. So we have a list of golfers that are coming through, and the setting up of the place is also finalized. We're expecting around 200 golfers because we have split the tournament in 2 days. So the bigger chunk of golfers will play on Friday, and then on Saturday we have about 72 golfers. So on Friday we'll have around 130 or thereabouts. Expect an interesting day. You know, golf is always exciting. People moving up and down, hitting the ball. We also expect a lot of what we in our language we call camaraderie, where people interact a lot. When people come here to play, it's not about who you are, where you're coming from. You're just a golfer.
The inaugural 2022 tournament, whose champion was a team of Dr. Duncan Chizankufa and Justice Ken Manda, raised 281 million kwacha. The proceeds were channeled towards needy university students and survivors of tropical cyclone. And the last year's tournament raised 450 million kwacha, surpassing the targeted 400 million kwacha. Half of the amount was channeled towards the rehabilitation of Mpatsa Primary School, which was damaged by Cyclone Freddy. The team of Shera Chinkandwe and Shera Chondre emerged the champion for the last year's Presidential Charity Golf Tournament. Amin Musa, MBC Sport, Blantyre.
Meanwhile, seed manufacturer Seedco has contributed 10 million kwacha to this year's Presidential Charity Golf Initiative, which is set to take place on Friday and Saturday in Blantyre. Presenting the check to the initiative's fundraising committee in Lilongwe, Seedco Finance Director Tawanda Ncube said the company realizes the significance of the initiative since its inception in 2022.
As Seedco, we always believe in partnering, in partnerships, because we believe that collaborating with others helps us to go further. So as a business and as a brand, we are not just into feeding Malawi and Africa indeed, but we also want to see the people whom are in the environment which are operating being uplifted in their lives and also contributing to society. It is very important. I think in the past, Malawi has had a number of disasters where the underprivileged have suffered. So it is very important that someone comes up and steps up and tries to cover that gap. So we are proud that the president has started this initiative so that he can at least try and cover that gap. And as Seedco, we are also delighted to partner with him in this initiative.
Presidential Charity Golf Initiative Fundraising and Organizing Committee Executive Member Kathy Matura described Seedco as a true partner.
As a committee, we are really excited that Seedco has doubled what they brought last year. Last year, they gave us 5 million. This year, they've doubled and given us 10 million, something that has been very instrumental towards us achieving the target that we have set of 600 million kwacha. So we really applaud Seedco's effort, and we also call on other corporates to come on board and join and do as what Seedco has done. Seedco is a company that has been with Malawi Golf, sponsoring golf, Malawi Open, Lilongwe Open, and now we have the Presidential Golf Fundraiser. Seedco is still being seen coming through. It's not only reaching out to golfers, but even to the less privileged members of the society. We are talking of underprivileged students who need financial assistance in tertiary institutions. We are talking of the rural communities who are affected by natural disasters, who also happen to be Seedco's main clients. We understand farmers in the rural areas. So we are really exhilarated, we are elated, we are excited. I'm running out of descriptions to describe how impressed and how happy we are by what Seedco has done.
Country Club Limby is expected to host the event for the first time, with 200 golfers set to participate in the two-day showpiece, and the proceeds realized will support needy university and college students. Castel Malawi Limited has donated 10 million kwacha towards the Presidential Charity Golf Initiative. Speaking after presenting the check to the organizing committee, the company's head of corporate marketing and communication, Laverne Chitagata, said her company realizes the importance of the initiative, hence the donation. She explains.
We wanted to make this donation of 10 million to the Presidential Golf, especially because when we had the Cyclone Freddy, we were one of the companies that were mostly affected as well. And we also did our own donation at that time to help the citizens of the South, because we saw it fit that most of our people were highly affected of the same, including our employees. So it is a quest that we all have to hold each other's hands to be able to fight this. And you can see that the impact has flowed on for a number of years, even after the Cyclone Freddy had ended. And also when you look at the cause of supporting education, the education itself, you can see that the youth of this country are the future, and the business people that we are going to work with even in the future. We see it fit that whatever donation that we have made is going to go a long way in sustaining whatever project that the Presidential Golf is working on.
Golf Union of Malawi President Gift Kawamba was so delighted with the gesture.
This afternoon we're very happy to receive a sponsorship of 10 million kwacha from Castel Malawi Limited. This is a very good and positive development. We're very appreciative to what Castel has done, and this money will go a long way to contribute to the amount that we are chasing to complete at the end of the day. Well, we are very optimistic. Initially, when we were making our plans, we were targeting to raise 600 million, and as of 3 or 4 days ago, we were around 93%. We were already above 500 million. And the past 2-3 days, we've seen a lot of companies and sponsors coming through. And we are very confident that by the time we'll be holding this tournament, we'll have enough money.
Vice President Dr. Michael Ussi has departed Tangier, Morocco for Baku, Azerbaijan, following his participation at the African Consultation Meeting in preparation for the 3rd United Nations Ocean Conference. Our reporter McDonald Chuaula is in Morocco, and he now reports.
The Vice President Dr. Michael Bizwiki Ussi arrived in Morocco on 8 October 2024 via Casablanca Mohammed V International Airport to attend the high-level meeting held at the Hilton Hotel in Tangier City. The consultation brought together leaders from across the continent to discuss the sustainable use of ocean resources and set the stage for the upcoming Global Ocean Conference in June 2025. Speaking after the summit on 9 October 2024, Dr. Ussi underscored the need for scientific research and policy development to guide the sustainable management of ocean and water resources. The Vice President further highlighted Malawi's unique position as a land-linked country with significant freshwater resources.
Malawi has 20% of the freshwater body in the world. Now that is an asset for Malawi, and it's good for other countries to also know. We have more than 1,000 species of fish in Lake Malawi, and also the cichlids, which are so unique to Malawi. That has been a pride for Malawi, but has not been, shared with many countries. So it's an opportunity for Malawi to showcase what it has, and as a global body, United Nations, it is very critical that Malawi should be party to deliberations of this kind, so that we learn from others and they also learn from us.
On the sidelines of the meeting, Dr. Ussi held bilateral talks with Moroccan government officials. In an interview, Dr. Ussi underscored the long-standing diplomatic relationship between Malawi and Morocco. He emphasized the need to implement the joint commissions of cooperation signed between the two countries, particularly in areas of education, trade, and agriculture.
Now we're saying, well, we have had these agreements, but what remains is follow up and also to implement them. So we came here with the technical staff who will reach out to their counterparts here in Morocco to come up with the task forces whereby they should now roll out, they should implement the joint commission of cooperations that have been signed.
Before departing Morocco on 10 October 2024 via Casablanca Mohammed V International Airport, Dr. Ussi reaffirmed Malawi's commitment to international cooperation on ocean conservation. He expressed optimism about Malawi's participation in future high-level discussions, particularly at the pre-COP meeting in Baku, Azerbaijan. The delegation to the African Consultation Meeting said Malawi's participation is a clear demonstration of the country's proactive stance on environmental sustainability and international cooperation, particularly in the lead-up to global conferences on climate and ocean governance. McDonald Shwaira, MBC News, Tangi, Morocco.
While in Baku, the Republic of Azerbaijan, Dr. Michael Ussi is expected to lead Malawi's delegation during high-level ministerial meetings on climate change financing. The meetings will take place from the 11th to the 12th of October. Timothy Kateta is in Baku, Azerbaijan.
It is a fact that Malawi, just like many countries around the world, has been badly affected by the impact of climate change. This includes drought and floods. It is for this reason that Malawi will be taking part in this year's COP29. But before that, there have been several meetings taking place here in Baku, the Republic of Azerbaijan, where the Vice President, Dr. Michael Ussi, will be leading Malawi's delegation during one of the high-level ministerial meetings taking place here. Eva Sinjewa is the lead negotiator for Malawi on climate change.
The coming of the Right Honorable Vice President here is very significant. Why? Because he will put Malawi on the map. Already we are on the map. But two, we are chairperson of 45 countries. We call them least developed countries in the world. 34 in Africa, 8 are in Asia, and 3 are in the Pacific region. So we chair those 45. So when the Vice President, Right Honorable Dr. Michael Ussi, comes, he will be speaking for 45 countries. And that carries very much weight into the world. 45 countries is not a small feat. Now, it means that the head of state, His Excellency the State President, Dr. Lazarus Chakwera, also at the heads of state and government level, it means he's the chairperson of those 45.
But ever since Malawi has been taking part in this Conference of Parties, or COP, what have been the benefits? This has been the question that many people have been asking, especially looking into the fact that every year these conferences have been taking place.
Yes, this is COP number 29. It's the 29th year since the first COP started. Now, what happens is if you go to Malawi, I would mention that we have generated projects from this process, and I can list those if anyone asks. We have had projects in Nche, we have had projects in Zomba, we have had projects in Kota. As I'm speaking now, Zomba, and several areas, Chikwawa, even in Mangochi, Machinga, they come from this project. Just last month or so, if you heard, there was a project that was approved by the Green Climate Fund. It's $52 million, US dollars, through the FAO in Malawi. That project came from this process.
It is therefore expected that once the Vice President will be here taking part in these series of meetings, Malawi stands to benefit a lot out of these meetings prior to the main event, that's COP29, that will be held next month here in Azerbaijan. Timothy Gadeta, MBC News, Baku, the Republic of Azerbaijan.
You're watching MBC News with me, Kumbukani Piri, and Savita Wirima is my sign language interpreter tonight. Remember, you can access all MBC digital platforms by scanning the QR code at the top right corner of your TV screen, or get the latest news by subscribing to our SMS services by dialing *364#. A reminder of our top stories. President Dr. Lazarus Chakwera set to compete at the Presidential Charity Golf Tournament in Blantyre this weekend. Vice President Dr. Michael Ussi departs Tangier, Morocco for Baku, Azerbaijan after participating in the African Consultation Meeting ahead of the 3rd United Nations Ocean Conference. And the High Court rejects an application by the Democratic Progressive Party on the mandatory use of national IDs during voter registration.
Mwaonatu tikamanena amakhanga ndi matama koma Maranatha tamenya tatulutsa ma highest Malawi yonse imeneyo ndi Maranatha Academy tikutitu 2024 MSc results ma number 1 onse achokera ku Maranatha dziko onse white points ni mmodzi yekha wachokera ku Maranatha Owen Jealousy watsika na dziko lonse highest ndi 10 points ndipo wachokeranso ku Maranatha Helen Tombozi toka ni manja wano kujaguza mwendera bwanji ayi musankadipireyi vuto siyeyo ndi sukulu imene naliyo tangotenga ni chikoma chake lero lino tamanga naye ni ku Maranatha Academy pachabe ife sitimapanga nawo za ma entrance timatenga wina aliyense namba zathu ni zomwe zija 0888 993 232 0993 832 832 kapena 0991 276 273 sukulu zathu zapamwamba Maranatha Girls Academy kumachinjiri Maranatha Boys Academy kumatindi Maranatha Capital Girls Academy kulilongwe komanso Maranatha Capital Boys Academy kumponera zikudikirira kuti mwana wanuyo adzakhalanso highest chaka chamawa zikakanika kwenako ku Maranatha zimatheka
yabweranso ndi moto yaikulu kuposa chaka chatha ndalama za nkhanikhanyi kwa matimu osewera adayiphule chaka chino ndani 30 mita Airtel leading size madolo mwakonzeka Airtel top 8 za madolo
battling for the prize Airtel leading size.
In Malawi, where the rhythm of life beats strong, there's a name that's been a beacon of trust for 7 decades. That name is Old Mutual. For 7 decades, we have stood beside you, weathering storms and celebrating triumphs. Since the opening of our first branch in 1954, we continue to help Malawians achieve their lifetime goals and dreams. 70 years of doing great things with Old Mutual.
Welcome back. The High Court sitting in Blantyre has rejected an application by the opposition Democratic Progressive Party in which the DPP was challenging MEC for making national IDs a mandatory requirement for voter registration ahead of the 2025 general election. Assistant Registrar of the High Court and the Supreme Court, Elijah Daniels, rejected the application, saying that DPP does not have the capacity to sue on such a matter. Meanwhile, the Malawi Electoral Commission, MEC, is set to start the voter registration exercise for the 2025 polls later this month. Charles Jindongo has more in this report read by Opile Kaisa.
Among others, DPP filed an application against MEC, arguing that the mandatory use of national identity cards for voter registration could infringe rights of eligible voters, citing challenges to register with the National Registration Bureau, NRB. However, Assistant Registrar of the High Court and the Supreme Court, Elijah Daniels, in his ruling says DPP does not have the capacity to sue on such a matter. He described the action by the opposition DPP as total abuse of court processes. Meanwhile, the Malawi Electoral Commission, MEC, has announced that the voter registration exercise for the polls will start later this month after completion of the pilot phase. According to MEC, the exercise will run up to early December this year. Malawi is set to hold polls in September next year to elect a president, legislators and ward councillors.
Today is World Sight Day. In Malawi, one of the events marking the commemoration has been held at Chipola Primary School in Zomba. Speaking at the event, Senior Programs Manager for Sight Savers, Effie Kamwendo, urged people to be seeking medical help whenever they encounter eye health problems. Kamwendo said some people are getting eye health services from herbalists and through self-medication, a thing which is fueling blindness among some people. She explains.
Yeah, the take-home message is that people should love their eyes because it starts with you. The government is doing their part and they can do more, but if somebody does not do anything about it, it means that there's nothing that can be done. So people should first love their eyes by taking care of their eyes. A simple face washing is an act of loving your eyes. Yeah, an issue of going to the hospital to get your eyes tested, even if you're not sick, is an issue of loving your eyes. And getting treatment from the eye specialist when you have a problem, it means that you are loving your eyes more. And these days for children, they tend to glue themselves to videos, to the screens, to the cell phones. So if they have breaks in doing that, they shouldn't have continuous contact with their phones, with screens. It means that they are loving their eyes.
Michael Masika is National Eye Care Coordinator in the Ministry of Health.
The key message, as the theme is stating, we should love our eyes. By this we mean people should be taking care of their eyes. Whenever they've got any problem pertaining to their eyes, they should be rushing to the hospital. And let me have this chance of telling people that they should be having medical seeking behavior of them going to the hospital to have their eyes checked, even if they are not having any eye problem.
Well, that's how we conclude this edition of NBC News. A reminder of our top stories before we leave. President Dr. Lazarus Chakwera set to compete at the Presidential Charity Golf Tournament in Blantyre this weekend. Vice President Dr. Michael Ussi departs Tangier, Morocco for Baku, Azerbaijan after participating in the African Consultation Meeting ahead of the 3rd United Nations Ocean Conference. And the High Court rejects an application by the Democratic Progressive Party on the mandatory use of national IDs during voter registration. You can access all NBC digital platforms by scanning the QR code at the top right corner of your TV screen, or get the latest news by subscribing to our SMS services by dialing *636-364#. You were with me, Kumbukani Piri, and my sign language interpreter tonight was Savita Wirima. And on behalf of the entire news team, it's thanks for watching and good night.